Salutations, greetings, and heartiest gratitude, and welcome to Love to Live, another episode where we, brothers, are discovering amazing paths and finding beautiful ways, keeping it simple and stupid, keeping it sweet and simple for all of you guys to love to live. And this is my Vide.
Hello everyone, welcome back. Today's episode we're going to be discussing how can we enjoy ourselves a bit more? How can we live a life? Others would call it more stress-free. Some people will call it more happiness. We'll go with more happiness or stress-free, whatever works for you. We can use a few examples. I think today I'll start off with using nature. Nature is something that I'm quite a big advocate for. Nature, there's something about nature, something about nature and something about the innate within us. There's a term actually that someone coined a while back. It's called biophilia. So it's this drive that we humans have towards connecting with nature, and nature includes things like the trees and the plants and also all living things, all animals, that kind of stuff that we could see. And so connecting with these things puts us at a sense of peace. It's a wholesome feeling, in other words. It gives us a bigger perspective of life. That us humans aren't the only thing here on Earth. Nature's also very much so just proving to us that other living things are here. And when we connect to those living things, something inside of us just relaxes and feels welcome. So that's biophilia. So not a cheat code, but quite an easy way to feel at ease is to just go and make nature a part of your day. Make it a part of your daily routine. Try to get out and walk in nature if you can. Even looking at nature has been proven to produce many psychologically soothing effects. Even looking out through your window and taking breaks off the computer screen or from your phone and just looking at a plant, for example, that's been proven to reduce stress levels. So how can we live a happier life? Nature's definitely one way to do that. So as often as I can, I'll either look at nature or go down to the sea. And if you don't live near the sea, maybe there's trees nearby to you or plants. Even watching things on TV or on the screen, yes, you are connecting to nature because you're seeing it, but nothing beats the fact that you real life go and interact with it. Maybe go put a hand on a tree. Just simple things like that. They really do work. I mean, try it out for yourselves. It definitely works for me. Another way is, well, like I said before, we humans are part of that nature. So connecting with other humans is definitely a great way to feel some peace and to let off tension. Even just a communication, even just a chat, a hello with a friend or even a random stranger. If you went up to a random stranger and just expressed a smile to them, that I guarantee you, if they smile back, that's definitely uplifted their mood, whatever the case, and you feel good because you've smiled, they've smiled, and you have that connection, even if it's non-verbal. Now, obviously, going and talking to someone like your friend, family, whoever it is that's close to you, talk to them. It could be about anything, but something that you resonate or something that you enjoy to talk about, something that they might also enjoy to talk about. Now, finding that common ground is one excellent way that you can carry on talking about something effortlessly, which is something very practical in today's world, finding something that we share with our friends and loved ones, How can we talk to them about something that I really care about? Or find something that you both care about. And believe it or not, if you find something that you really care about and not necessarily the other person cares as much, your passion through that subject while talking to that person that you love will eventually, now it's not always immediate, but eventually that passion will be almost picked up by that other person, regardless, even if it's a topic that they don't know necessarily much about. But the passion that you talk to them about that subject, that's the thing that you're connecting them with. They can feel your passion from this subject. It doesn't matter, even if I didn't get, say for example, Vida here, was talking about vanilla ice cream. Just for example, vanilla ice cream. And he's telling me all about the different times he's had them and all the different variations. He's had it on cone, with a spoon, in a bowl, anything like that. And I'm sitting here thinking, well, I'm not really the biggest fan of ice cream, but for example, I do like ice cream. But he's talking to me about something that he loves, and that's going to come across to me regardless of whether I know much about ice cream or not. It's the fact that he's sharing something, and I'm taking that time to just connect with him, to listen to what he's saying, and that's the connection. That's the connection to nature. That's the connection to other humans. That is something inside, whether we know it or not. A small part of us craves that feeling wholesome, that connection to something more important than just ourselves. And a great way to start to build that connection inside us, that wholesome feeling, is to start doing more, like going and connecting to nature or talking to other people. Either way, doing these kind of things, they really do help in reducing stress. And the inverse of that will increase your happiness.
Well, honestly, I cannot say much about the vanilla ice cream because from ice cream to ice cream, we all kind of evolved. But yeah, about happiness, it's the slightest of things. It's the simple and the minutest of things that when we do it with passion, when we just dissolve our love, when we just involve our love into it, every happiness becomes magic. Magic. Because you know what? There's a beautiful saying: the existence of the pudding is proved once you start eating it. So unless we start practicing it, unless we start practicing it, we won't be able to feel it. We can keep on speaking about happiness. And there's a beautiful story. There's a beautiful story. It just reminded me. There was a child who started going to the church, or you can say a temple. I heard this story as a temple. So this child, he started going to this temple, and guess what? The child was only like 3 to 4 years old, right? And the priest of the temple, he stood and watched the child after all their worshipping was done. They used to see him that he was chanting some hymns, some mantras, something for hours, for hours. And these priests started to think among themselves, this is just a small child. How does he know so much of mantras, or whether does he even know any mantras? What is he chanting? What is he singing? And you know what, brother? After 6 days, these priests asked this child, what are you chanting to this god? What are you just mumbling? What are you singing to the god? The child said a beautiful thing, beautiful thing. He was like, God might love you guys a lot because you guys know a lot of mantras, you guys know a lot of chantings, a lot of hymns. But if you really want to know what I have been doing with God, so I have been going to school lately and I have learned ABCD. So I came to God. I came to God. I joined my hands. I did a pranam. I closed my eyes and said to God, God, I might not know all these mantras. I might not know all these bhajans and all these hymns and stuff. But I know ABCD. So I have chanted ABCD 20 times from A to Z and Z to A. And I asked God, God, you make out your own mantra the way you wish to through these ABCD. So that's my simplest of love that I'm offering. And these are the emotions. These are the slightest, the simple, and the most happiest things which you do with happiness, which you do with self belief. That is, you're expressing your love. And always remember, love is pure. When there is pure love, when you're doing something without expectation from the other side, that I might not get the love back, I might not receive this, I might not receive that, absolutely fine. Beautiful saying. If you want to give money, nobody can stop you. But if you're expecting money, you might not get it. If you want to give wisdom, Nobody can stop you. But if you are seeking for wisdom, you might not get it. Similarly, if you want to give pure love, it's all up to you. Because you are the designer of your own beautiful life. And happiness lies in the smallest of details when it's done with love. So even Veera does not like about the ice creams and stuff. I will still eat up his head by speaking about food, 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 and food, because that is something which makes me happy. Good food, good mood. What do you have to say about that, Veera?
Well, that was beautifully said, as always. And what I what I would take away from that is, first of all, you got to try these things, right? Like that child, he just did what he thought was best. So if you take the first action to even think about improving your happiness, decreasing stress, whatever you want to call it, you're going to start to take action, right? Or at least you'll start to see ways that you can take action. Like, for example, with the nature, or connecting with someone, or doing something like maybe a hobby, finding something that you really enjoy to do, even if you don't know what that is yet. The fact that you want to do something is the first step. Now, try things. Like the child, try your best. It doesn't matter if you know this is what you like or what you don't like. Try something. You know, if you can't think of anything else, seriously, go and try walking in nature. Or even try looking at a tree, for 5 minutes or something like that. Just be around nature, just you and it. And soon enough, you'll see what works for you and what doesn't. But the main thing is you got to try something, because you won't know until you try, right? Everyone's different. Other things might work for others, and some things might not for others too. So whatever's going to work for you, only you will find that out once you've tried it, right? So you've got to try these things. Ultimately, it's up to you to decide if you want to increase your happiness, and then only you can actually permanently do so. So take the actions that you think you want to do, right? Doesn't matter if you know they're the right decision or not, but through experience, you'll gain something that he just mentioned, which was wisdom, right? Wisdom. You'll be able to apply your own life in a way. Life sort of becomes your teacher if you think about it, right? Life experience, right? You've heard of the term life experience. Life experience becomes wisdom. You get to look back at life experiences that you've had and see what works for you and what doesn't. And sometimes you might be able to apply them to yourself, and if it doesn't apply to you, then you might be able to inform someone else. If that ever does come up in a question or something like that, you might be able to look back to a time when you yourself has done something and kind of say, hey, no, you know what? I've tried this once, X, Y, and Z. So do these things, because not only does it help you in the long run, it might help someone else. So try something, regardless of what it is, and be your own test. Make it an experiment. Make it fun. Make it an activity, and you will be able to judge the results by how you feel afterwards. And another key thing is keep consistent. Things might not change overnight. Think about you and how far you've come to the position you are emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually. All of these things didn't just happen overnight. They came here, or rather you got to this point over a process of years, months, days, weeks. It's taken time to get here, so it's also going to take time to where you want to go and how you want to feel and who you want to be. So the main thing is take the time to also not judge yourself if after the first day something didn't work out. Look at it as, you know what, that's the first day of many, or day one, or it's the start of a journey, of a continuing journey. It's called the journey of life. So every day can lead to more and more knowledge, at least, right? If you are trying things. At the very basic, at the very minimum, if you're trying something new every day, or at least trying to do something consistently every day, you'll be able to see the progress, either physically, mentally, spiritually, or emotionally. In one way or another, even if you feel like you're not progressing, you are, because you still did it 2 days in a row, and that's better than one. So always look at it from the point of view is no matter what's happening, as long as I'm doing it, it's going to lead to greater good for me, for others, for everyone. Exactly. Exactly. So just start simple, you know. You might hear some of these messages again and again in our podcast, but these core simple messages, if you want to call it, are the fundamentals. And it's a lot of times that we skip over the fundamentals thinking there's some, you know, pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. But most of the time you get there and it's just cornflakes. Now, if that doesn't make sense, it's because it's not really meant to. But if it does, then understand this. If you try, you're getting somewhere. Now, life's a journey. Just keep trying and you will get somewhere, okay? We're all here together. We're all on this journey together. So, just some thoughts from us today on how we can increase our happiness, reduce stress, and live an overall better life. Anything else, Peter?
Absolutely. Life is always a journey from B as birth to D as death. And we always have the power to see for choice. We always have the power to make our own choice, to make our own decisions. It's those choices which make us as who we are. So before giving love to other, first just ignite love in yourself. Grow that love in yourself. If you can love yourself, honestly, don't trust me unless you are actually doing it. But give it a go. Instead of judging yourself, analyze yourself. 1 week in a row, how much I have loved myself. If you're loving yourself, you see this beautiful big boy over here, he loves himself so much, it radiates, it glows, it glows. That's the thing. If you love yourself, you can spread love to others. You can grow together, you can glow together. And obviously, it's a beautiful journey. The ultimate destination is death. So death comes once. Life happens every day, every day. So instead of adding days to life, add life to days. So yeah, that's gonna be the thing. Now how you are gonna do it, that's absolutely your own charismatic creativity. So love to live. Big love.